Well, after a long 2-week break, we're finally back with Premier League action. It's 17th place Burnley hosting Chelsea, who are in third. And after a 3-0 victory just before the international break against Wolves, we find ourselves in good form here, heading in to this crucial week with Barcelona and Arsenal coming up next. And we're all set for the start of the kickoff here. Chelsea must win. It's as simple as that from their point of view. No slip-ups can be afforded with Arsenal coming up next week. And Arsenal playing Spurs tomorrow. We have an opportunity to go 3 points behind the Gunners with the win today. For Burnley, it was back-to-back defeats just before the international break. They had a bit of a up and down form in their last 5 games. They did win a couple, but those 2 losses just before the international break would have been really hectic for Scott Parker. A victory here will take them into 14th position with Newcastle playing Manchester City today later on. For Chelsea, there have been a few changes, and I'm very interested to see this, that Chalobah once again is playing as the left-sided centre-back for Chelsea, which means Cucurella will invert into midfield. It's a long ball forward. Which means Reece James will start as the right-sided centre-back. Tosin in the centre, and the midfield of Andres Santos, Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez. Reece James once again starts and is skipper. Zion Fleming, the centre forward for Scott Parker. He's got 3 Premier League goals, so he is in a decent nick going into this fixture where he will have very few chances and will have to be clinical in front of goal if Burnley are to get something out of this game. Rob Sanchez under a bit of pressure goes long to Jamie Gittins, who wins his header. Big day here for Jamie Gittins as Liam Delap chases the header back. Martin Dubravka with the save here. Esteve, the centre-back alongside Axel Tuanzebe, trying to keep a lid on Liam Delap and Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro, of course, playing as the number 10 in the absence of Cole Palmer. Immediately finds Cucurella. Chalobah has taken a bit of a risk, but he's come out with the ball nicely. But Burnley do pinch the ball. Kyle Walker nicely finds Tuanzebe. Here's Leslie Ugochukwu, of course, formerly of Chelsea colours. Featured very little under Pochettino. Then couldn't capitalise and was in the end sold for a figure of just over 20 million quid. Here's Kyle Walker on the right hand side, trying to take on Jamie Gittins. Clip pass towards the far stick. The chance here, Reece James deals with it quite comfortably here. The back stick for Chelsea is always a problem. Oh my goodness me. Chelsea nearly make a huge mistake here. Ugochukwu put under pressure. Gets the ball away from Andres Santos. I think that's Pedro Neto still on the deck there with a head injury by the looks of it. What happened there is Chelsea did have the ball. It did look comfortable. Scott Parker is not happy with that decision because play did go on. It was Enzo Fernandez. Look, Chelsea deal with this somehow. And then let's have a look as to what happens here. Sanchez, he has just clobbered the ball on the back of Enzo Fernandez's head. That is really sad to see. Sanchez has done his very best in terms of keeping clean sheets. The midfield pairing of Cullen and Florentino will be tasked of keeping Enzo Fernandez and Andres Santos in check in that midfield area. Chelsea have to keep a clean sheet here because you know that those kind of clean sheets, we have changed the centre-back pairing again today. No Fofana in the matchday squad. I really hope it's a precautionary thing and not an injury with Hato, Achimpong, Gusto all on the bench. With Badiashile back on the bench is the good news for Chelsea too. Ball forward. Again looking to clear. Chelsea are not defending well here. That should be a foul. Surely it's not given. Heavy touch. And Pedro Neto picks up the ball on the right hand side. Pedro Neto, really good burst on the right hand side. Look at him go here. Pedro Neto. Well, he almost found a way out of there. Here's Burnley now, venturing forward. Let's have a look at how they approach when they do have the ball. Here's on the right hand side is Chauna. Lovely touch here by Ugochukwu. Couldn't find an accurate pass to Chuana, but gets it back. The French right winger alongside Leslie Uguchukwu. Looking for the right options here. Twanzebe finds Esteve. Here's Hudson. Hartman finds Esteve again. Goes all the way back to Dubravka. Burnley being patient with the ball. Here's Axel Twanzebe. Cullen, the skipper. And Chelsea not really pressing Burnley when they do have the ball. Going to make sure that Burnley try and play through Chelsea and can try and nick the ball and try and hit them on the counter-attack. This is good possession here for Burnley. Non-threatening, but still keeping the ball nicely. Here's Kyle Walker, finding himself in a central position here, inverting from right back by the looks of it. Cullen feeds it forward. Good play there, nearly finding Fleming. Here's Joao Pedro, lovely touch there, but it's too heavy. Burnley quickly trying to close him down here. Rob Sanchez not waiting for the ball to go out of play. Instead goes long, which is comfortably cleared with by Esteve, and the offside flag belatedly being raised. I don't understand that. I mean, Burnley had the ball. They lose it, and then the offside flag being raised. Makes no sense, but we move. Here's Cullen. Oh, he gives it away. Reece James nicks it brilliantly here. Finds Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea on the move. Feeds it to Jamie Gittins. Still waiting for his first Premier League goal, but that's a poor pass by Jamie Gittins. He's trusted ahead of Alejandro Garnacho on the left wing today. No Estevao still. Enzo Maresca showing that he has to be patient with it. This is a good ball here for Chua on the right-hand side. He's got a bit of space. Chops in on his left foot, and Chalobah does brilliantly there to block. Well, Chuana just showing you what he's all about on that right-hand side. Surely a foul there on Joao Pedro. Chauna just moving on to that right-hand side. I'm very surprised that Trevor Chalobah did show him on his left, but he knew exactly what was going to happen as the shot was going to be taken, and he was there to make the block. Again, 0-0 here. Cold day here in Turf Moor. It's not going to be easy for the Chelsea players. Soon after the international break, no Moises Caicedo, of course. I think that's the right move there by Enzo Maresca. He played both games for Ecuador and did complete 90 minutes in both. Chelsea have had just 30% of the ball here. Burnley might be dominating possession, but it's all been in their own territory. Something that Chelsea need to try and eradicate quickly as Tosin feeds the ball immediately onto the right-hand side to Pedro Neto. Here's Reece James. Back to Tosin. Again, waiting for opportunities. Chalobah on the left-hand side does affect our build-up. Cucurella. Now on Chalobah. Back to Tosin. Chelsea being very patient with the ball here. Andre Santos. That's a poor pass by the young Brazilian. Chelsea have Andre Santos and Joao Pedro in the starting 11, with Estevao certainly to come off the bench. Did score 2 goals in the international break. The entire world now starting to catch on to what Estevao is all about. Here's Kyle Walker. Uguchukwu. Again, looking to drive forward, finds Walker. Back to Leslie Uguchukwu. Nice pass between the channels here. It's a loose ball and Diop picks it up here. Liam Delap has got Gittins on the left. Oh, he decides to go for goal himself. That is the worst decision he could have made there, Liam Delap. That is so irresponsible from Liam Delap. Look, Chelsea win the ball back. It's Liam Delap, and now he's got Gittins busting a gut down the left-hand side. He's got Neto on the right. He decides to go for goal himself. That is shocking from Liam Delap. Only because it's early in the game, you kind of forgive him for it. But yes, he's not found the back of the net in the Premier League for Chelsea. A long-term hamstring injury did keep him out for a considerable amount of time, so you can understand that he is looking to impress. Nice chest down there by Tosin. He needs to be at his assertive best today. He really has struggled at centre-back. Again, Delap's touch just gets away from him. Chelsea haven't really settled in the game so far, but we had a good opportunity to get a shot on goal there. Back to Dubravka. And it's pretty patient stuff here from Burnley. They have no panic so far. Dubravka chips it beautifully. That is a lovely pass there to Chauna. Cullen, Axel Tuanzebe, caught in a cul-de-sac here. Goes back to Martin Dubravka. There's Chuana again. He's playing quite deep here. Kyle Walker. Goes back to Dubravka. A lot of touches for the goalkeeper so far. He looks to switch that beautifully there to Fleming. Tosin loses out here, and he might be one-on-one. Andre Santos is the last defender for Chelsea. It's Jayden Anthony. What a block that is from Andre Santos. Burnley still have the ball. Here's Chuana on his left foot. Somebody has to close him down. Here's Jayden Anthony on the right-hand side this time. Kyle Walker, first time ball into the box. Decent ball in. The header is well over the crossbar. Hartman making his run from left back. Chelsea not defending that well. Again, Tosin Adrabayo, that is so poor from him. As soon as he loses that duel, we're in so much trouble. Tosin continues his lackadaisical time at Chelsea this season. That is a brilliant block by Andre Santos. Well, Chalobah and Santos have had to make two big blocks in the first 10 minutes. Chelsea have not played any football so far. Fleming. That's good from Enzo Fernandez. Here's Chalobah now. Finds Reece James. Chelsea just need to pop the ball around here. Just get Burnley moving. It's been hard work. Chelsea almost trying to play direct football here. Burnley want that to happen. Almost a basketball game. Chelsea need to just slow the pace here. Tosin taking an age before he just launches it long. That makes no sense, but it's Pedro Neto who's giving chase. It's brilliant from Pedro Neto. That's surely a foul there by Hartman. It's right in front of the referee too. He does not give it. Here's Cullen. Andre Santos and Enzo Fernandez looking to press here. Again, Chelsea leaving 1v1 at the back. Chuana up against Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea are not playing good here. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. A massive opportunity. Another tremendous block. This from Tosin. Chelsea allowing far too many entries here for Burnley in this first half. It's been a nightmare for the Blues. Corner for Burnley by the looks of it. No, Cucurella keeps that in. They're putting on the pressure here. It's another ball towards the far stick. Chelsea looking all over the shop here. They're being run ragged by Burnley. Again, the back pass. They have to be careful here. Burnley were robbed with two late goals. Remember the game against Manchester United at Old Trafford where they were 2-0 down. They managed to get it to 2-2, or was it 2-1 and then 2-2? And in the very last minute, they conceded a needless penalty, which Bruno Fernandes converted. They've had a couple of late heartbreaks here, Burnley. Chelsea have not gotten going whatsoever here. Here's James. Tosin, look at the press here from Burnley. That's much better there from Tosin, but Joao Pedro loses it, but Liam Delap picks it up. This time finds Jamie Gittins. Chelsea on the attack for the first time, really, committing bodies forward. Jamie Gittins on the left-hand side. Again, waiting for options. He needs to try and go left or right in terms of getting the best possible opportunity. Gittins. Joao Pedro trying to play the 1-2 with Liam Delap, and it's easily gathered. And Chelsea have looked non-threatening in the early stages here. They haven't troubled Martin Dubravka whatsoever, but they've had to make three massive blocks in the match already. Tosin, Chalobah and Andre Santos have kept this at 0-0. Chelsea need to wake up here because it just feels like the Burnley goal is coming. Here's Andre Santos. Well, you've got Caicedo, Garnacho and Estevao on the bench. Can't be thinking about the bench already, surely now. It just shows you that without Moises Caicedo, Chelsea can be vulnerable. Again, it's all about keeping consistent possession here. Burnley have come out firing in this first half, played with real intensity. Here's Joao Pedro, looking to turn away from trouble. Again, it's an errant pass. Reece James is on the scene, and he just clears that away, and it nearly turns out to be a brilliant pass for Jamie Gittins. Again, Joao Pedro has lost the ball in that number 10 position, trying to turn away from trouble on multiple occasions. Has to take care of the ball better in that. Now Chelsea win the ball in midfield. Joao Pedro on the slide. Ooh, that might be a foul. He has to be careful. That's his first foul. He gets away with it. Leslie Ugochukwu was just looking to push away from Joao Pedro. Yep, clear foul there by Joao. Into the 15th minute, Chelsea have not gotten going whatsoever. It just feels like a familiar story against the quote-unquote lesser teams. Just do not turn up, do we? I mean, that loss to Sunderland was unacceptable, but we have dropped so many needless points, especially after performing well against the likes of Tottenham, Liverpool. And with Arsenal coming up next week, we cannot afford to drop points. Chelsea need to really wake up. This is the third time in the 15th minute that I'm saying the same thing here. We have not woken up whatsoever. Here's Tosin now, pushing forward. Again, no progression from the back. Cucurella looks lost in midfield so far. I think Cucu as the left-sided centre-back will really help us with Reece in the midfield area. Give us a bit more presence. Ooh, that's a good pass there by Sanchez, but Chalobah's put under pressure here. Goes back to Tosin Adarabioyo. And very lackadaisical here, Tosin. But he plays a nice line breaker under pressure to Liam Delap. That is not a good pass there by Tosin. He knows that Delap is under so much pressure. He takes an age to release the ball, and when he does, Chelsea lose it again. Oh, Leslie Ugochukwu left it short, but picks it back up. So loses the ball here. Enzo Fernandez. What a pass that is for Pedro Neto. Chelsea on the attack here. Pedro Neto shifts it on his left foot. Pedro Neto with a terrible shot. Oh my goodness me. That is absolutely poor from Pedro Neto after a very good find by Enzo Fernandez. You know that Pedro Neto wants to chop in on his left foot immediately, and once he gets there, I really hope that was a deflection. It was, thankfully. It's a corner for Chelsea. Well, Reece James comes across to take it. Chelsea have been very productive with set pieces. We need something to go our way here. It's been terrible in open play. Reece James with the ball into the box. Keeper comes and punches. Decisive there from Martin Dubravka. Here's Andres Santos. Finds Pedro Neto. Again, Neto goes all the way back to Rob Sanchez. Again, Chelsea in open play have to be a lot better. They have to be a lot better. And they're taking so much time on the ball. There's absolutely no release here. Here's Chalobah. Enzo Fernandez. Such a poor ball there by Enzo. He was expecting or hoping that Jamie Gittins would have made the ball run on the left-hand side. Enzo Maresca would have looked at his first 17 and a half minutes and been absolutely fuming. The Burnley fans are enjoying with their mascot. It's been far too comfortable for the home side here. Well, at some point, Chelsea need to get serious here. They cannot continue here. We know that after the international break, it's never going to be straightforward. It's never going to be silky smooth. But my goodness, the basics have to be better. What a pass that is by Joao Pedro to Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. Neto cuts in on his left foot. Thought about the cross. Now the cross does arrive. Well defended by Axel Tuanzebe. Chelsea now have possession exactly where they should be. Here's Jamie Gittins looking to play the 1-2 with Joao Pedro. That was too much there by Joao. Gittins trying his best as Reece heads it into a dangerous territory here. Jayden Anthony was looking to chase after it, but Pedro Neto does very well. This is much better, this from Chelsea. Sustained period of possession in the Burnley half. Joao Pedro leaves it for Liam Delap. Brilliant play this from Chelsea. Cucurella to Jamie Gittins on the left-hand side. Has to take on Kyle Walker. Gittins goes around the outside. Cross comes in. Does it take a deflection? It doesn't. It's out for a goal kick. We need better there from Jamie Gittins. First time he is isolated. Kyle Walker has got plenty of experience, the former Manchester City captain. Could have gone anywhere else. Probably explored options. Did go to AC Milan, to be fair. But in the summer, Burnley decided that they need a bit of experience. And what a better place to get than a 5-time Premier League champion. Again, we're into the 20th minute. Chelsea have not troubled Dubravka once. To be fair, Sanchez hasn't been threatened either, but Chelsea have had to make 3 tremendous blocks. That's the only reason the scoreline feels like it's 0-0. Can Burnley play through the Chelsea press so easily here? We're in so much trouble. Chuana, what a shot that is! Straight at Rob Sanchez. Great strike. Again, Chelsea's midfield is so open. My goodness me. This is a game where Chelsea just need to take the 3 points and disappear here. Liam Delap is struggling to hold the ball off. He's had a terrible start to the game. 20 minutes, no impact. Good pass there for Cullen. Here's Leslie Ugochukwu on the right-hand side. Back to the skipper, Cullen. Could have gone to Florentino. Instead, he keeps it short. Here's Esteve. Back to Dubravka. He's had so many touches of the ball already in this first half here, Martin Dubravka. Florentino takes a bit of a risk, but finds Kyle Walker. Lovely 1-2 here with Florentino. Burnley are really saucing out here. Chalobah wins the interception. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Pedro Neto was offside, so he couldn't go for the ball first time, but good decision for Chelsea to just keep the ball here. Have to move Burnley around. Reece James. Andre Santos. Here's Cucurella. Back to Santos. Santos is playing the number 6 role here by the looks of it. Enzo Fernandez playing as the number 10 rather, with João Pedro. Really want to see Enzo Fernandez deeper here. Oh my goodness me. Chelsea playing out the back is real kamikaze. Chalobah looks so uncomfortable as the left-sided centre-back. Look at Tosin taking an age. This centre-back pairing I thought we were done and dusted with, but seems that Enzo Maresca still likes it, and that is very curious. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Again, takes his time with the ball, does the right thing. Andre Santos finds Chalobah. Back to Santos. Nearly halfway through the first half, Chelsea have just about woken up from their slumber here. Pedro Neto finds Reece James. The big switch is on here, and it's too much there for Jamie Gittins. Nothing has worked for Chelsea in this first half, and the only good news that it's still 0-0. We saw this against Nottingham Forest, where it was the last game for Ange Postecoglou. Chelsea did win 3-0 on the night, but that was never a 3-0 game. The number of chances Nottingham Forest created that afternoon was absolutely scandalous from a Chelsea point of view. We're looking at this game. Burnley have made some great entries into the Chelsea box. Joanna had a shot from distance. Here is the Frenchman. He's looked lively. Cucurella makes the challenge, and this is where Chelsea need to adjust here. Cuckoo has to play as the left-sided centre-back. Trevor shifting to the right-hand side, and Reece James into midfield. It's got to be the plan. I can't understand why that wasn't to begin with, because we know that every time Chalobah has the ball as a left-sided centre-back, he wants to play quick, but it's not on his favoured side. The angle is against him when he's trying to find those passes. Again, a long ball into the box. Good header there by Reece. Here's Florentino. Josh Cullen finds Kyle Walker. Now to Axel Tuanzebe. Again, Burnley keeping the ball well here, but they don't want to play into trouble. Here's Hartman. Good ball forward. Jadon Anthony is there, but look at the composure shown by Andre Santos. Outstanding from the young Brazilian. Enzo Fernandez under pressure. He gets robbed, but Santos is there to mop up. Tosin back to Andre Santos. Back to Tosin. Chelsea trying to knock the ball around. Burnley dominating the stats here. 5 attempts to Chelsea's 2. Chelsea have had 2 attempts? From where? Might have missed one. Are they counting the corner which Dubravka punched as an attempt? Maybe so, but there's no shots on target. Reece James. Cucurella. Tosin Adebayo. Back to Cucurella. And Chelsea with 0 ball progression here. Tosin looks confused almost as to where to find the pass. Here's Gittins. We call this from Enzo Maresca to draft Jamie Gittins into the starting 11. Remember, he played against Karabag and he was hooked at half-time. Tosin, Neto, Santos. Pedro Neto trying to control the ball. It was a Bit of a mess there as Hartman goes back to his goalkeeper. We're into the 25th minute and this has not been an enjoyable 25. It's been hard work for Chelsea. Tosin wins the header. It's a nudge there by Enzo, but he plays on. Oh, that's a brilliant challenge by Esteve on Pedro Neto after João Pedro did find him. Reece James with the first time ball into the box. It was a low-driven ball. Well defended there by Burnley. Reece James on the right-hand side. Overlap is something that we've very seldom seen now that he's playing as the right-sided centre-half. At best, he progresses into midfield. Here's Chalobah. Back to Tosin. Again, where's the movement? There's absolutely no movement in front of him. Everybody's so static here. Tosin is, again, you can count the number of seconds that Tosin is taking before he makes a decision. It's 50% blame on him and 50% on the players, showing no movement. That's better from Tosin. Look at that touch from Liam Delap. It's absolutely shocking. Chuana does well. Can he find Jaden Anthony? It's not a foul. It is a foul rather, as the advantage isn't given. Liam Delap has had a shocking 25 minutes. It's a free kick here for Burnley. Set pieces, a great equaliser, and Chelsea have to defend this well here. They've got a bit of presence with Tosin, Liam Delap, Trevor Chalobah and João Pedro. Well, Fleming will be interested in this, the centre forward. Will be Josh Cullen who will deliver this ball into the box, the Burnley skipper. A bit central, which is why he doesn't decide, and Hartman changes the angle, far too much on it. Out for a goal kick. Yeah, and the only positive in the first half is Burnley haven't scored yet. Scott Parker will be so pleased with the way his boys have gone out there and really put on a stamper for authority against Chelsea. I never understand why players stop the ball with their hand. You understand what I mean? When the goalkeeper rolls it forward, why do you stop it with your hand? I mean, what if that was a touch that's counted by the ref? Again, a long ball forward. Why are we doing this, man? This makes no sense whatsoever. It's almost like we have zero interest in playing through the middle. Burnley have completely swamped us here. Here's Ugochukwu. Under pressure, turns away from Kukureya quite comfortably. Good push pass forward to Chuana on the right-hand side. Again, a lot of space opening up. Cross comes in, cleared away by Santos again. He's had an excellent game. That is a terrible clearance by Mark Kukureya. My word. Chelsea are playing absolute garbage football here. Midfield getting easily bypassed. Leslie Ugochukwu just turning Mark Cook. Well, Enzo Maresca has to make the change here. Even if he doesn't want to make a substitution, he has to change the structure. It does not work. 28 minutes. He needs to put Reece James in midfield, Mark Kukureya as the left-sided centre-back, and Trevor Chalobah on the right-hand side. Everybody more naturally in their position instead. It's a lot of square pegs and round holes as the long ball forward to Liam Delap takes a decent first touch. Esteve is strong. Ooh, he's nearly looking to foul Liam Delap there, Esteve, but Delap was offside. Not the kind of game Liam Delap would have hoped for after getting another start here. We're nearly into December, still waiting for his first Premier League goal. You can understand why. You see there, Sanchez has taken the free kick. He's taken the goal kick rather. And Trevor Chalobah just stops it with his hand. I saw Gabriel Magalhaes do that against Bayern Munich when Thomas Tuchel was the manager. And that was a clear pen. It was 2 seasons ago. It wasn't given by the referee because he didn't want to give such a schoolboy pen. But I never understand why players do decide to do that. And Chelsea with zero composure in midfield, man. It's been just such a poor watch. When you wait 2 weeks for the international break to finally finish and then your team serves up something like this. It's almost like you want the international break to get back here. Again, Chelsea taking a lot of chances in their own half. Yes, we do improve in the second half of games, but the first halves, my word, they're a real cause of concern. That's a good pass there by Joao Pedro to Marc Cucurella. Such a poor pass there to Jamie Gittins, man. Cucurella's had a shocking couple of games for Chelsea. Here's Joao Pedro. Need him to really step up here. We're missing a lot of flair. Lovely 1-2. Joao Pedro nearly feeds it to Enzo Fernandez. That was the best bit of football Chelsea have played, and it took the best part of 30 minutes for that to happen. Trevor Chalobah with the strike. And it's easily into the hands of Martin Dubravka. This is lovely combination play from Chelsea. It was Delap, Joao Pedro, and nearly found the vacant pass to Enzo Fernandez. Better late than never from Chelsea's point of view. Here's Enzo. Under pressure. Has to be careful. He's been robbed off the ball. Surely a foul there by Enzo Fernandez. Taking so long on the ball there. Enzo has to release it quicker. Again, he didn't go on international duty. 2 weeks at Cobham. Absolutely priceless. It's a shame we couldn't do the same with Moises Caicedo. But now no more international breaks till about February, March. This is exactly what we want to see here. We saw that Thomas Tuchel plays Reece James a lot. Was really happy that he only started one game. And the last one against, was it Albania? He was an unused substitute and was very happy to see that. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I know that the game has not been anywhere near Chelsea standards, but I really do appreciate the support. Here's Esteve. Cullen. Again, Burnley looking very comfortable here with the ball. Chelsea almost with the mid-press here. Saw Gary Cahill pre-match talk about a mentality test more than anything else, and Chelsea have failed it miserably in the first half. Look at the way Burnley are popping this around with so much confidence. Onto the right-hand side, here's Leslie Ugochukwu up against Cucurella. Good cutback, and it's cleared away by Andre Santos. Andre Santos has made a brilliant block and 2 critical interceptions already. And finally, Liam Delap wins a free kick for us. Does well to hold up the ball. Again, it's a free kick in our own half as Axel Tuanzebe followed Liam Delap all the way into the opposite half. Here's Reece James onto the right-hand side. Again, I can't imagine Enzo Maresca would have looked at this first 30 minutes and said, you know what, carry on as you were. Wait, yet to see any sort of tactical tweaks. Don't expect substitutions, sure, but it's almost like a manager does not like to admit that he got it wrong. If he does make the change early on, I think they would be applauded. That they're human beings. They do make mistakes. Almost like managers have to be Teflon. Again, there's a change now with Trevor Chalobah playing as the centre and Tosin on the left. That doesn't help. Not the kind of tweak that I was hoping for. There's Trevor Chalobah once again taking an edge on the ball. Burnley have just swamped that midfield perfectly here, forcing Chelsea to go long to Liam Delap, who's hardly made the ball stick. Here's Cucurella. That's a brilliant turn there from Liam Delap. That is outstanding from him. Releases Pedro Neto. Cut back. Jamie Gittins. Oh, that is outstanding from Kyle Walker. Saves a certain goal. Chelsea playing the best bit of football after Liam Delap's outstanding turn. This is a brilliant from Delap. He does the right thing. Plays Pedro Neto in. Neto does not hesitate. Plays that across goal. And it was a tap-in, if not for Kyle Walker's tremendous recovery pace. Gets there well in time for the clearance. Chelsea with a corner. Almost feels like the sparks are finally starting to turn here. Look at that terrible pass there by Pedro Neto. That is so bad, but Chelsea somehow get a corner. Again, we don't have to do anything of this short corner nonsense. Just get the ball in the box. Got Liam Delap. Got Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro, of course, has scored from one corner. Was against Fulham, if I remember correctly, as Reece James puts the ball into the box. Cleared away. It's another corner for Chelsea. A flurry of corners as Hartman clears. Left back for Burnley. He's had a pretty productive game. He's had Pedro Neto under wraps, but he couldn't really help him with the pace that once Pedro Neto really takes off onto the right-hand side, he's very difficult to stop. Chelsea once again looking to take it short, but seems that the referee wasn't ready. You can see the change of angle here. Reece wants to get this shot to Pedro Neto rather. Reece will have another opportunity though. Chelsea captain with the Chelsea's fourth corner. Towards the near post. They somehow managed to clear. They still haven't cleared the danger as Cucurella's shot goes wide. Enzo Fernandez was hoping the ball landed to him. It's well defended there by Burnley. Had to just get the numbers behind the ball there. Could Enzo Fernandez get a shot away? He couldn't. Hartmann's shot came up against Marc Cucurella. Yep, it did hit Enzo Fernandez's arm, so even if it did go in, it wouldn't have counted. Well, under 10 minutes of regular time remaining in this first half. I can't imagine too many added on for injuries and stoppages. It's been pretty free-flowing, but Chelsea have not really participated in the free-flowing football. A couple of decent moves, but that's just about it. Foul for Chelsea. And Liam Delap really struggled in the last 30 minutes, but we've seen him with that lovely turn and pass, just showing what he's capable of doing if he does get a bit of service. And a long ball forward. It's Cucurella who's made his way into the box. Lovely touch by the Spaniard. Lays it off for Gittins. Thought about the shot instead. Goes for the cross. The header's on target. And it's 1-0 to Chelsea. It's Pedro Neto. Chelsea have an undeserved lead. But we'll absolutely take it. Really hope that he is onside. But that ball into the box is tremendous. Martin Dubravka's leading the inquest here. So is Josh Cullen. He's not happy. Pedro Neto gets his second goal, or third goal rather, of the Premier League campaign. Well, Cucurella's onside early on. He's done so well to bring this down. The control is very good. He lays it off. Look at this pass by Jamie Gittins. It is so good. Brilliant. That assist from Jamie Gittins will give him all the confidence in the world. Now look at that. It's a lovely floater. It's winger to winger. Pedro Neto with a stooping header. 1-0 to Chelsea. Well, Enzo Fernandez was attacking the box. Pedro Neto completely unmarked at the far stick. Lovely header on target. Scored against West Ham. Scored against Wolves. And now scores against Burnley. Enzo Maresca will be happy with the scoreline, despite not being happy with the performance. Pedro Neto. Goals in back-to-back games for Pedro Neto. I think that's his fourth Premier League goal. He scored against Nottingham Forest too. I think I've just got it wrong. It's 2 goals in 2 games. Fourth goal in the Premier League for Pedro Neto. That Jamie Gittins cross is what it's all about, man. That's what we want to see. Just be decisive in your actions. Fleming with the strike. The first time the centre forward has got the ball fallen to him. He's been cut an isolated figure. Scott Parker will be scratching his head, wondering how this game has turned out the way it has. For all the decent work that they have done. Haven't really threatened Rob Sanchez. Chelsea have had to make some big blocks in the box. Again, that's brilliant from Liam Delap. Nearly finding Jamie Gittins. Good header there by Trevor Chalobah. Here's Marc Cucurella. It was his run into the box that started off the move. It was a long ball forward. Cucurella did so well under pressure. Not just cushion it, but find the right option in. Jamie Gittins, who did the rest, put it on a plate for Pedro Neto. Florentino goes back to Dubravka. Switches it onto the left-hand side, waiting for Jadon Anthony, but that's good interception again from Andre Santos. Andre Santos in the midfield area has been very good in terms of interceptions and blocks. I think the way that he has smelled the danger, sensed it, and taken evasive action has been pretty impressive. Enzo Maresca would have just made one thing and one thing clear. Get me the 3 points before we go to Arsenal next week. Before we host Arsenal rather next week. Of course, we have that massive game against Barcelona midweek in the Champions League. Having dropped points to Karabag, Chelsea and Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken, we're level on points. They drew 3-3 as well, so pretty much a must-win game for Chelsea. It's a real shame that Cole Palmer isn't available. Estevao might start. Estevao versus Lamine Yamal, the two wonder kids. Be some battle. Pedro Neto does well. Has he won the corner? He hasn't. Good defending again there by Burnley. 5 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. Chelsea somehow navigating it. Hasn't been vintage Chelsea, but take the lead. It was a good goal. Good goals is what we're all about. So first yellow card, and I think that's for Pedro Neto by the looks of it. Very surprised as to why the yellow card was given. Yep, the confirmation is that of Neto picking up the yellow. Not sure what he did there. Has to be careful. Chelsea cannot afford red cards, that's for sure. That farce has to end. Good header there. But Jadon Anthony nearly finding Fleming. Fleming's header. He was the one who was waiting for the knockdown. Again, it was Andre Santos who got there first. Fleming just looking to throw himself on the ball somehow. Here's Trevor Chalobah, finds Tosin Adebayo. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody tuning in. It really does mean a lot to me for you guys to tune into the watch along. Really, I'm enjoying doing this season. Should have done it earlier, but better late than never. Just like Chelsea's goal. Might stink out the joint early on, but eventually get the job done. It was a bit of a collision there. Chelsea looking to win the loose ball. Here's Cullen. Kittens putting pressure. They played well there, Florentino. Lovely chip pass to Leslie Ugochukwu. Immediately under pressure. That's brilliant from Cucurella. And now Chelsea on the break here. It's 4v4. If he played the cards right here. João Pedro has played Liam Delap on the left-hand side. Cut back into the box. The cross on his left foot is really poor. It's his weaker left foot, so you kind of give him a pass for it, but needed to do better. Chelsea still need the cushion goal. 3 minutes plus added on time remain in the first half. Here's Cullen. Jadon Anthony goes back to Hartman. Here's Esteve. Back to Florentino. Good pass. That's better there from Chalobah nicking in. Ugochukwu asking a lot from Jadon Anthony. Again, look who's there. It's Andre Santos again. The way he's sniffing out danger is very impressive. We thought that he's going to be the natural replacement for Enzo Fernandez in terms of rotation, but Enzo Maresca was so impressed with him that he decided that he can play as a number 6, number 8, and even as a number 10 if need be. So just shows you the kind of versatility, and we need the versatility, trust me, because we don't have Romeo Lavia, nor do we have Dario Asugo. Both of them. Asugo, of course, had to have surgery, and Lavia, well, we just can't rely on him, can we? Here's Tuanzebe. Back to the former Manchester United player of the academy, Carrington. Here's Esteve. Florentino, heavy pass there to Hartman, who deals with it nicely. Again, that was Reece James with a high boot. Fortunately, doesn't make contact. That's a lovely turn there from the two Brazilians. First by Andre Santos, and now João Pedro, who nearly feeds it to Pedro Neto. Again, lovely turn first up there by Andre Santos. Just behind him, or ahead of him rather, was João Pedro. Florentino to Hartman. Oh, that's a terrible pass. João Pedro picks it up. He's got acres of space to make his decision. Keeps it short. And Chelsea being... Now the statistics look slightly more favourable to Chelsea. 55% of the ball. Burnley still ahead in terms of attempts, but Chelsea have the most important statistic. The Pedro Neto goal after a quite remarkable ball into the box by Jamie Gittins. Perfectly timed. The flight, the weight, everything. It's just brilliant. There's Chalobah. Goes back to Sanchez. And clean sheet, absolutely critical for Chelsea. Again, Tosin is trying to slow the pace, but he is really taking an age before he makes a decision to find a pass. Again, look at this. You can almost count 5 or 10 seconds where he's just dawdling on the ball. Yes, he's surveying his options and urging for composure, but has to find the pass quicker. Sanchez goes long, headed by Esteve. Cucurella. That's very good by Pedro Neto. Liam Delap might have been fouled. What a brilliant turn that is from Liam Delap. He's suddenly come to life. Joao Pedro with a couple of decent touches but gets away from him. As I mentioned before, the first 30 minutes for Liam Delap was real hard work, a very hard watch, but the last couple of moments, we're just seeing Liam Delap now being a lot better now. 2 minutes of stoppage time has been added on. There's plenty of Premier League games today. The early kickoff, Chelsea having to do it once again after the international break. See that Enzo Maresca was not happy about it in his pre-match presser. He said that once is fine, 2 times we do not accept, especially after the international break. There's no time to recover, and that's why Moises Caicedo's on the bench. Reece James gets robbed off the ball, but throw in for Chelsea. Just over a minute of stoppage time remaining. Pretty much mission accomplished in terms of first half action. Again, we're not going to talk about the performance. It's all about the result. Here's Chalobah. And keeps it short. Back to Trevor. Chelsea taking their time on the ball. That's a good pass there by Rob Sanchez. Lovely pass there from Tosin. And look who it is. It's Cucurella in a number 10 position. Marc Cucurella waiting for options. He slid in. Liam Delap with the effort. It's taken a nick and will be a corner. Good movement there by Marc Cucurella, finding himself in acres of space in the number 10 position. And now he has an opportunity. He has an option to find the pass. See that Liam Delap was forced wide, so he had to take the shot first time. This just might be the final action of the first half. Chelsea having, I think this is their 5th corner. If I'm not mistaken, it will be Pedro Neto, the left-footed in-swinger here. Dubravka trying to just get an early start here to try and claim the ball. Neto's delivery has got height. The header by Joao Pedro. Almost looking for a bit of a knockdown there. Instead, it's out for a goal kick, and that will be that in terms of first half action. Chelsea with a nightmare performance, but somehow heading into the halftime break with a 1-0 lead. Jamie Gittins with an inch-perfect ball into the box for Pedro Neto's stooping header. His 4th goal in the Premier League for the Portuguese. Well, Chelsea after the international break are notoriously slow starters. With 3 points, the main remit heading into the massive game next week against Arsenal, with Arsenal playing Spurs tomorrow in the North London derby. As it stands, we're in 2nd position, 3 points behind the Gunners. Halftime at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. Well, it was a well-worked goal, but other than that, we really did struggle in terms of pinning Burnley back. But what we did very well is, credit where credit is due, is just hung in there. The fact that Rob Sanchez just had to make the one save, which was straight at him. But other than that, quite a few big blocks were needed from the likes of Tosin, Chalobah and Andre Santos. Andre Santos defensively has been very good. I think the way that he has shepherded that number 6 position. Yes, he's allowed a few runs behind him, but the way that he has intercepted danger and really bailed us out on a couple of occasions has been impressive. Enzo Fernandez with a nothing game really. 5 on 10 at best for Enzo Fernandez. Joao Pedro has worked hard, so has Liam Delap. We saw that combination nearly paying dividends. Liam Delap in his first 30 minutes struggled, but in the last 15 looked a whole lot better. It is a big jump going from Ipswich Town to Chelsea. Make no mistake about it, not just in terms of style of play, but the expectations and what is expected of you as a centre forward for the Blues, especially wearing that number 9 jersey, which is the most cursed jersey. I will never understand how a striker who signs for Chelsea decides that, yep, I'll take the number 9. I mean, how many more examples do you need before you know that that jersey, that number is cursed? Just like the number 7 for Manchester United since Cristiano Ronaldo left. Got some big games coming up later on. Liverpool up against Nottingham Forest. Last season, that was the only game which Liverpool lost at home. I think that was a home defeat, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a game that Arne Slot kept on referencing in terms of unacceptable, cannot happen, need to do better. But that was a baptism by fire. But since that defeat, I think Liverpool went on a run which was absolutely irresistible. Completely different Liverpool this time around. They need to win really against Nottingham Forest. They cannot afford to drop points. Have a quick look at the other games coming up later on. As it stands, Chelsea in second, 23 points, 3 behind Arsenal. That's exactly where you hope to be. Arsenal, of course, at home against Spurs. You expect Arsenal to take all 3 points, but you just hope that Thomas Frank can pull out a result somehow against the Gunners at the Emirates Stadium. Bournemouth against West Ham, Brighton against Brentford, Fulham, Sunderland, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Wolves and Crystal Palace, all kicking off simultaneously after the Chelsea game, and then Newcastle United up against Manchester City at the St James's Park. That'll be a big game, really. Have an eye on that one. Might even do a watch along, because Newcastle taking points of City might mean that Chelsea might end up this week in second position. Newcastle have not been the Newcastle of last season or the season before. They've had a really tumultuous time under Eddie Howe. What are they, 14th? Yep, 14th. 12 points, 3 behind Everton in 13th. 1 point behind Fulham, 1 behind Leeds. And what will really almost upset the Newcastle fans is Sunderland's entry into the Premier League after a long hiatus. What is it, 10 years, 9 years? And they're in 4th position, looking like they've adapted to the Premier League just like that. And that will just add the salt on the wounds of the Newcastle fans who have been waiting for a bit of a comeback. You can see they spent big in the summer. Expected them to, especially with the funds that Alexander Isak generated, the likes of Nick Woltemade and Johan Wissa. We haven't seen anything of Johan Wissa so far. On the right-hand side, they do like to play the likes of Jacob Murphy or Anthony Elanga. Anthony Elanga as well has really struggled. On the left-hand side, they do have Anthony Gordon and, what is that, Harvey Barnes? Yep. Tomorrow, Leeds United host Aston Villa, who have been on a magnificent run. I mean, anybody who had doubts about Unai Emery, I'm convinced they don't know about football. I mean, especially with Aston Villa, you cannot really ever call for his head, considering what he's done for your club. They were in the relegation zone under Steven Gerrard when Unai Emery entered the fray. He takes them to Champions League football, and once again, he's going to play European football, this time with Europa League. So he is just an elite manager, man. He knows how to get the job done. If you manage your expectations and not put anything crazy on him, he's a top manager. Yes, they will point to his stints at PSG and Arsenal. The job at Arsenal was almost impossible, especially after Arsene Wenger, with the squad that he left behind. What did he have, £50 million to spend in his first summer window? He really had to go to the bargain basement and shop with the likes of Matteo Guendouzi and who else did they get? David Luiz, was it that season or the season after? Either way, it was hard work for Unai Emery there, but since then, he's not just repaired his reputation, he has enhanced it with his stint at Aston Villa. I'm a big fan, really big fan of Unai Emery and Aston Villa. They're 6th as it stands, level on points with Tottenham Hotspur. A win will take them into the top 4. Again, it's so crowded, isn't it? Sunderland in 4th with 19 points. Spurs in 18. United 18. Liverpool 18. Bournemouth 18. Crystal Palace 17. So you look from 4th to 12th is separated by 3 points. So you can almost have crisis talks one week, and the next week if results go your way, just feels like I might have overreacted a little bit. But that's how crazy the Premier League has been this season. There are no easy games. I was not confident heading into this game, make no mistake about it. I know the difficulties that Burnley can cause us, especially at Turf Moor. Chelsea notoriously slow starters after the international break, but a couple of victories on the bounce will really bode well for us. Beat Wolves, lost to Sunderland, beat Wolves in the Carabao Cup. That win against Spurs was very important, and if we can win today, it will be 3 wins in a row in the Premier League. Just under 5 minutes remaining before the start of the second half. Chelsea will not be making changes. I don't think so, but I don't think that first half was something to really shout about from Enzo Maresca's point of view. Yes, it was better after maybe the 30th minute, but the first 30 was very poor. I want to see how many touches Enzo Fernandez had in the first half. I think he should have been playing a lot more deeper. Just allow maybe Andre Santos. He's had 28 touches, 3 in the opposition box. No dribbles, no accurate long balls. 2 passes into the final third. 3 touches in the opposition box. No shots, 1 chance created. Hasn't been the game that we were hoping that we was going to have, but the second half is still there. So far, our wingers coming up trumps here. There was a big decision to leave Alejandro Garnacho on the bench, but Jamie Gittins will be feeling a whole lot better after that assist. Pedro Neto getting his 4th goal in the Premier League. Is he our top scorer? I think he is, you know. João Pedro has 4, and yep, Pedro Neto will have 4 too. Scored against Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, and now against Burnley. João Pedro has 4, Pedro Neto has 4. Yep, we're heading into second half territory now. Again, I don't think Chelsea will be making a change, but again, I don't want personnel change. I'm happy with the team. Fair enough. If that's the one that you want to go, you want to protect Moises Caicedo, Josh Achimpong, be my guest. But we need the structure to improve. The structure has to improve. Our build-up has been very poor. We need the likes of maybe Marc Cucurella. Again, I understand Cucurella brings different strengths. We saw him for the lead up to the goal, how he darted into the box to make that run forward. But our build-up is really suffering. Out the back, we're seeing Tosin and Chalobah. Tosin has looked so lackadaisical on the ball. Chalobah is taking an age to release from his opposite side. That's what I want to see. Maybe structurally a difference. Maybe Chalobah on the right, as you see. But just making that one change, you see so many pieces moving around. Say we go with, look at it, let's have a count here. Cucurella will change position. Tosin will remain in the center. Chalobah will move to the right. And Reece James in the center midfield. So it's just changes in and amongst the system more than anything else. We'll wait and see how Enzo Maresca approaches the second half. Should be ready for the start of the second half very shortly. Just a minute away. The first 45 minutes was enough of a warning that Chelsea definitely have to pay heed to. Have to make sure that the clean sheet, one, is kept, and two, get that second goal as quickly as possible. Midweek against Barcelona is going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I want to see how Chelsea play in that game when the stakes are really raised. Lamine Yamal coming to the bridge for the first time potentially. We will see probably Estevao starting that game because he's on the bench. And if the game stays the way it does, he might just remain on the bench. But at some point, Estevao getting maybe 15 or 20 minutes against a tired Burnley side is exactly what we need. Garnacho, on the other hand, he can make a difference too. You know that if Moises Caicedo slips into the midfield area, Chelsea will start dominating it a whole lot better. And there are options for Enzo Maresca. Whether or not he decides to use them, we'll wait and see. But he'll be happy with that first half, the way that it ended, not the way it started. Liverpool arrive at Anfield. They kick off next against Nottingham Forest. Sean Dyche is a different proposition for Arne Slot, as Wolves manager Rob Edwards takes charge of his first game against Crystal Palace. Of course, Wolves played the last game against Chelsea without a permanent manager. That day, Rob Edwards was confirmed. Having a look at the incident where it was the handball incident of Trevor Chalobah. Again, we should not be doing brain dead stuff like this. Cannot be doing that whatsoever. Well, Gary Cahill with a wry smile on his face in the studio. He knows that Chelsea have possibly escaped with one there. Wouldn't have been a pen. Would have been a pen, isn't it? When you're having a handball in the box there like that. No one around you. Can't really give that, can you? But yeah, you can. The Burnley players are back on the field here. Kyle Walker made a critical interception to deny Jamie Gittins at the fast take. Oh, Benoit Badiashile is on the field. This is very good. I am so happy to see him back here. What a monstrous performance he had against Liverpool before picking up that injury. Gave us 50 minutes, but 50 unbelievable minutes, man. We're so happy to see him fit and ready again. And he'll slot in as that left-sided centre-back. And now I feel a whole lot better. On his face in the studio. He knows that Chelsea have possibly escaped with one there. Yep, as it stands, Chelsea in second. 23 points with a plus 11 goal difference. Manchester City. A win against Newcastle in a difficult stadium, St. James's Park, despite how bad Newcastle can be on the season. They at home are a really tricky opposition. I know that because Chelsea, every time we go to St. James's Park, pretty much expect that we'll come back empty-handed. As it stands, Pedro Neto, the decisive player there. Well, it's Reece James who has come off. Very interesting substitution, but it's a centre-back for centre-back, but the structure will change now with Trevor Chalobah now moving to the right side of centre-back and Benoit Badiashile as the left-sided centre-back. We'll get so much more balance, and I can fully expect Chelsea to play out the back a whole lot better now. The players are on the pitch. We're all but set for the start of the second half here. Burnley looking for the equaliser and possibly more. The referee has had one final look. He's made his final count. Reece James has surrendered the captain's armband to Enzo Fernandez now. We need Enzo to be a lot better in the second half. Needs to be slightly deeper if he is to try and affect the play. The Chelsea players still warming up here. It is really cold in Turf Moor. You can see why they're continuously warming up. I don't understand why the delay started. It is because of a technical malfunction for the fourth official by the looks of it. Or the linesman. I mean, look at the linesman, man. How much gear does he have on? He's got 5 or 6 wires around him. Absolutely crazy. Early on, a linesman, all he used to have is one flag and that's it. And now he's got a flag. He's got 5 or 6 wires behind him. Look at that. He's got an earpiece. He's got a strapping on the right bicep. Talk about being overdressed and really juiced to the gills in terms of technology here. Again, this is such a long delay. We have to get going here. What a waste of time this has been. Really have to get going. They're taking their own sweet time. I think this is a 5-minute delay before the start of kickoff here. That can't be normal, can it? Is it a change in referee or is it just a change in linesman as Reece James walks off the pitch with a smile on his face? No injury for him. Just might be precautionary with Barcelona and Arsenal coming up next. And the linesman finally has gotten ready here. Chelsea players still warming up. Can't afford to go cold here in Turf Moor. And after a lengthy delay, we're all set for the start of the second half. Chelsea with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Pedro Neto, after a brilliant ball by Jamie Gittins, found his opposing winger. Chelsea have made a half-time substitution with Benoit Badiashile back in the lineup after missing considerable time out after that injury when he played against Liverpool. He was absolutely outstanding in that game. Gave not a sniff to Mo Salah. I remember that game very clearly because Josh Achumpong played centre-back and Benoit Badiashile played left centre-back. It was our best defensive pairing that I've seen all season. We haven't seen that since then. Really hoping that we could see it at some point surely this season. Here's Twanzebe. Juana finds Cullen. Again, another interception there by... Oh, that's a big miss there by Tosin. He cannot do that. Really cannot afford to do that. Looked like a lackadaisical header and nearly cost us there. Esteve with his header back to Dubravka. Well, Dubravka, and to Burnley's credit, didn't have too much to do. Talked about that one big chance that Pedro Neto just slid across the face of goal for Jamie Gittins for a tap-in, but Kyle Walker was quick off his heels. Joao Pedro trying to hold off the challenge. He's lost out. Here's Jadon Anthony on the left-hand side. Up against Trevor Chalobah. He got absolutely no change against Reece James. Enzo Fernandez with the interception. Lovely pass to Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. Chelsea looking for the second immediately here. Pedro Neto stops on a dime. Feeds Enzo Fernandez. Joao Pedro. Pedro with the strike on his left foot. Curious decision again there by Joao Pedro. Decided to take a shot, but Chelsea moved the ball very smoothly there. Enzo Fernandez to Pedro Neto, who found Joao Pedro in a lot of space. Could have looked for Cucurella. It was Enzo Fernandez rather who had fed the ball, but a pass there for Cucurella on his left foot might have been a better option, but can't really fault Joao Pedro for having a shot. But when strikers shoot with their weaker foot from outside the box, might have my eyebrow raised. Again, how many interceptions is that from Andre Santos? Really has been a rock at number 6 for us. Can we protect Moises Caicedo? I would love to not see him on the pitch, but that can only happen if Chelsea are 2 or 3 up. And a ball forward. Badiashile is there first. Him and Tosin nearly getting into each other's way. A clearance will do. Tosin clears. He's had a very iffy game. Missed a couple of his headers. Was rolled on a couple of occasions. Did make a good block, in fairness to him. Did take an age to really get us going with the ball at his feet. That's how much Chelsea are missing Levi Colwill. He really does change our build-up game. Him at that centre-back position is just perfect for us. Juana loses that. Again, Liam Delap trying to win the flick-on header, which he does brilliantly. Oh, what a challenge that is. If that's a foul, that's definitely a yellow card for Kyle Walker. That's a dangerous challenge on Jamie Gittins. Surely a yellow card, and it is. Well, Kyle Walker will be playing the rest of the second half on a tightrope. Clear foul, clear yellow card. Again, that's good play there by Liam Delap in terms of the hold-up. Brings it down nicely, laid it off to Jamie Gittins. As it stands, the difference maker, Pedro Neto. Again, I want to see Chelsea progressing the ball better here. Now that everybody is pretty much in their favoured position. That's a good turn there by Pedro Neto. Thought about the cross. You know that he's not going to really cross with his right foot. He can, but he won't. Chalobah, low cross, easily cleared. Tosin should win this header. He doesn't. But Andre Santos is there again. There's Pedro Neto shielding the ball. Lovely nutmeg on Jadon Anthony. Here's Badiashile. We need his passing from the back urgently. That left-hand side for us was a real struggle. But now with Badiashile able to pick out those line breakers, we'll be looking a whole lot better now. Good pass onto the left-hand side. There's Jamie Gittins. He'll be found a lot more now that Badiashile is there. Tosin, Chalobah, risky, very risky. Andre Santos has been fouled, and thankfully so. It's a heavy challenge by Josh Cullen, but Chelsea nearly undoing all the good work that we did. Andre Santos in real pain. Really hope that he can continue. This pass by Trevor Chalobah is a hospital pass, really. Could have very easily landed Andre Santos in the hospital. That's a heavy challenge right over the ankle. It's a really painful one for the young Brazilian. Luckily, he's not writhing around in pain. Chelsea, again, they have to take care of the ball a whole lot better. Oh, they're going to have a look whether or not Josh Cullen has gone with an excessive amount of force here. Well, the skipper will have his heart beating twice as fast now as VAR might have a check. Haven't seen the challenge yet. Has he caught him with the studs? With the studs showing. Has picked up... Did he pick up a yellow card? I really hope he did. He saw that Kyle Walker already picked up a yellow. Josh Cullen waiting for the decision, or pretty much waiting for Andre Santos to get back onto his feet. Florentino Luis has not had the influential game in midfield alongside his skipper, but he has kept the ball moving nicely. I thought the way in the first 20-25 minutes Burnley were excellent. The way that they played through our press was outstanding. No fear, just played some lovely football. You can see Trevor Chalobah and Pedro Neto having a conversation there, that right-hand side. You know that Trevor Chalobah likes to play those long raking balls into the channel, so he's asking Pedro Neto to be ready. The ball will be faced, and luckily for us, Andre Santos is okay. Good news, real good news. Chalobah immediately finds the channel ball, headed away by Esteve. If I'm not mistaken, Esteve is Manchester City's second highest scorer in the Premier League. 2 own goals that he scored. Erling Haaland, of course, with 14, and the rest of the team with 1 each. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Here's Tosin. Again. There's Badiashile now. Goes back to Rob Sanchez. Chelsea, 7 minutes. Had better control of the game. I don't know if it's better control or we have pretty much allowed Burnley less control. I think that would be more accurate. Aren't seeing that possession being dominated. We aren't seeing us strangulate them with the ball. That's a nice pass there by Badiashile. You see that left-footed pass, simple pass forward. And just like that, Chelsea on the move here. It's Liam Delap. He's got two options. He decides to use neither. Oh, so strange there from Liam Delap. He has to look for Enzo Fernandez, who busted a gut to get into the box. He delayed his pass. Chelsea still have the attack though. But that all comes from Badiashile's simple pass on his favoured left foot first time. Just opens up so many possibilities. Tosin with the ball forward. Cucurella is onside. Again in the box to Jamie Gittins. It's Mark Cucurella. It's blocked. I think that's Axel Tuanzebe who just comes across. Cucurella is a box threat here for Chelsea. Let's have a look here. He's clearly onside. Again, nobody's picking him up. He's almost got a free roam into the box. This one has to be delivered quicker when Liam Delap had the opportunity to deliver the ball into the box. Good defending though by Axel Tuanzebe. It's a good run there by Delap, who is onside. Look at that. Enzo Fernandez has to be found. I mean, what's his excuse? I really don't know. He sees him. You see that he's picked his head up as the corner has been played in. Dubravka punches. Here's Andres Santos. Will look to recycle the ball. Does the wise thing and goes back to Rob Sanchez. Chelsea still have their big boys at the back, but Sanchez deciding that recycling possession is the best course of action. Strangely, now decides to go long. Again, it's Cucurella who picks up the second ball. Enzo Fernandez, cross comes into the box. It was for Pedro Neto and Liam Delap, who both made their runs. Not for a goal kick instead. Well, Scotty Parker would have told his team to pretty much do the same thing as they did in the first 20 or 25 minutes, but they really did lack that little bit of cutting edge. To their credit, they did try to manufacture a few shots, but they were all blocked by Chelsea. Badiashile wins his header. João Pedro tries to bring that under control. Well, 10 minutes of the second half has just blown by very quickly. It's been a incident-free second half so far. Here's Tuanzebe. Goes back to Dubravka. Florentino is just trying to drop in between the two centre-halves. Dubravka's passing has been very impressive. It's got to be said. The way that he's picking out his full-backs with real regularity. This time forcing him to go a little bit longer. Badiashile is a monster in the air. Should be able to win those. That's a brilliant touch there by Jamie Gittins. Surely he's fouled there, but play goes on. João Pedro's in the box. He could square it up. I can't understand why the Chelsea forwards are not passing first time. Again, Andres Santos, brilliant. João Pedro surely has to slide it across. He decides to go for goal himself. They cannot be selfish. The two centre forwards both had opportunities, both on their left foot. Liam Delap had to go across for Enzo Fernandez, and surely João Pedro had to go across for Liam Delap. Here's Trevor Chalobah, looking more at home at that right-sided centre-back position. Here's Tosin. Again, waiting patiently for options. Does not arrive. It's a lovely line breaker to João Pedro, who's peeled off onto the left-hand side. Gittins gets robbed off the ball. Throw in for Chelsea. Better control this from Chelsea. Just denying Burnley any sort of sniff on the ball. As we see Moises Caicedo on the bench. It's a rare sighting to see Moy missing any sort of game time for Chelsea, especially under Enzo Maresca. He played a criminal amount of games last season and this season too. I mean, that game against Karabakh should have been a rest for him, but Lavia gets injured in the 4th or 5th minute. He plays 85 to 90 minutes on that game. And then against Wolves, Chelsea were 3-0 up in the 65th minute. I was really expecting Caicedo to come off. Instead, it was Enzo who came off. And Caicedo played 90 minutes, so I'm very happy for him to get a bit of rest today. But only if Chelsea get all 3 points. Lovely turn there by João Pedro. Such a smooth footballer. could look for Jamie Gittins. Instead, he's in the box. Joao Pedro's final ball really has been lacking. Here's Gittins again. Might go for a shot here and nearly curls that. Has it taken a deflection? It probably could have. Jamie Gittins, as soon as he chops in onto his right foot, he's just looking to fade that into the far corner. Again, lovely to see Jamie Gittins have that confidence. The cross was good. If that deflection, took a clear deflection off Leslie Ugochukwu. Corner for Chelsea. It's Pedro Neto with no Reece James on the pitch. We really are struggling with good corner takers. Pedro Neto, decent ball in. There's a chance. Oh, Chelsea somehow have kept it alive. Enzo Fernandez's shot is blocked. Well, Andre Santos has to be careful, and he isn't. It's an errant pass, unfortunately, but it's in the opposite half, so we won't mind that. Ball nearly broke through for Enzo Fernandez and Joao Pedro to shoot there. Really didn't happen. Here's Tuanzebe. Good pass, but Rob Sanchez quickly off his line. Really does gather. I think Rob Sanchez's improvement this season has been top draw. He really has cut out his mistakes. Yes, he's prone to make a few of those errant passes when things get a little too comfortable for Chelsea, but it's nice to see him knuckle down and really be a serious player between the sticks for Chelsea. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Again, another errant pass by Enzo. It's not been his game here. Enzo Fernandez really been poor today in terms of really affecting the game. He's been all over the pitch, and fair play to him. Heading into the final 30 minutes. Chelsea still looking for that second goal. Here's Benoit Badiashile. And surveying options. Decides to go short to Marc Cucurella. He's playing in the pivot alongside Andre Santos. Chelsea maneuver it better. Now Badiashile has an opportunity. Decides to keep it short. Chelsea dominating possession in the second half, but not really threatening Burnley. Well, 60 minutes on the clock. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Keeps it short nicely. Joao Pedro back to Enzo. Beautiful pass there by Enzo to Benoit Badiashile. Here's Jamie Gittins. Again in his own half. Chelsea need to try and find him further forward. Here's Tosin. Keeps it short, keeps it patient. And taking their time here, Chelsea. Joao Pedro has to be careful and fortunately is fouled. We've seen Joao Pedro lose the ball in the centre circle on a couple of occasions which Burnley have used for the counter-attack, but clear foul there by Florentino on Joao Pedro. I mean, we've been waiting all season to see that Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer and Estevao link up. Seems that we have to wait a little bit longer. Cole Palmer fracturing his toe after recovering from the groin strain. I think it is one way of Chelsea to just keep Cole Palmer on the back burner, because those groin injuries are really hard to diagnose. You feel that could very easily just go like that. The last thing we want is Cole Palmer missing any more time. He's nearly missed the third of the season. And despite that, Chelsea as it stands are in second position. Tuanzebe does very well, battling Jamie Gittins. Gittins does so well to track him. Here's Hartman. Finds Esteve. Cullen goes back. I wanted to see that challenge he made on Andre Santos. They didn't show us the replay. Very strange decision. Lovely again from Andre Santos. Finds the danger. Enzo Fernandez has found Pedro Neto. Goes for the near post. Hits the post. Burnley survive. Pedro Neto on his right foot crashes it against the base of the post. Burnley get away with that one. This is a brilliant win by Andres Santos. He picks up Enzo Fernandez, one touch into the path of Pedro Neto. Doesn't have to take a touch. It was a fizzing low drive on his weaker right foot. And the deflection nearly found its way to Andres Santos, who was waiting to tap it in. After winning the ball and starting the attack for us, Chelsea have another corner here. Looking a lot better now in the second half. "63 minutes on the clock. That second goal still elusive for Chelsea as Enzo Fernandez delivers. Dubravka punches. Pedro Neto's header back into the box. Easy grab for Dubravka. That's very good there from Cucurella. He absolutely chased that down. Knew that he had to get there first. Here is the Spaniard. Finds Badiashile. Chelsea looking a lot more solid at the back. The passing has been better. Better second half. And we are a second half team. If you've seen us play this season, we've not started first halves well. It's been a continuous trend in the first third of the season. We need to eradicate that as quickly as possible. Again, Tosin's pass is terrible. He had so much time. Again, Andres Santos is quickly there, but it's a rugby challenge on the Burnley skipper. Now, the longer this stays 1-0, Burnley will feel that they're very much in it to try and nick one back. It looks like the change will be made off the bench as Malo Gusto is looking to be coming on here. Be surprised as to who he replaces. Might be Marc Cucurella. We'll wait and see. Chelsea holding a very high line here for this Burnley free kick. Chipped it towards the back post. Delap gets there first. Good header from him. Can he prevent the corner? Yes, he does. Brilliant from Liam Delap. Just making himself a nuisance there. Making sure that Burnley didn't have an easy route to put the ball into the box. Scott Parker, of course, won the Premier League with Chelsea. Was it 2004-2005 season? I know he was there for 2003-2004. 04-05. Was he there in the title-winning squad? Might have to check. He definitely didn't figure much. I think he was off the bench. We did have a stacked midfield then with Thiago. What a touch that is from Jamie Gittins. Outrageous from the young Englishman. And he looks for the reverse pass, but strange decision there by Jamie Gittins to play the ball there. Malo Gusto getting his final instructions before he takes his place in the field. Alexander Isak starts for Liverpool today. Is this the game where he finally gets his first Premier League goal? I really like that from Badiashile, but it's a foul in the eyes of the referee. Suwana just crashing into Badiashile. Referee feels that it was a little too much. Sean Dyche going with the 4-2-3-1. Sangare, Elliot Anderson, the midfield pair. Front three of Dan and Doy, Morgan Gibbs-White and Nicolas Dominguez. I'm sure the striker will be... Oh, it's Igor Jesus. Surprising decision here. It's Liam Delap who's come off, which means that Malo Gusto now will play in midfield, which means Andres Santos potentially pushed up the pitch, or it'll just be Enzo Fernandez playing the number 10 position now with João Pedro as the centre forward. No goal for Liam Delap again, but encouraging display. Foul there on Jamie Gittins. Well, Burnley are bringing on yet another ex-Chelsea player, Armando Broja, and ex-Manchester United player, Hannibal Mabry. Looks to be coming on for Burnley now. We cannot allow Armando Broja to score against us. That cannot happen. Here's Gittins. Again, surely a foul there. It's Kyle Walker who's on a yellow card. Has to be careful. No sort of dissent will be tolerated. A couple of fouls there by Kyle Walker on Jamie Gittins. Chelsea need that second goal here, especially with the double substitution for Burnley coming on. Hannibal and Armando Broja will add a bit more attacking spice to the Burnley lineup. Here's Tosin. Gusto. Badiashile. Crisp pass. What a back heel that is from Jamie Gittins, nearly finding Malo Gusto, who's got fresh legs. Goes lunging in though. Lovely carry there by Leslie Ugochukwu. Feeds it onto the right hand side, but a foul was given. It was João Pedro who got his arm across, and he picks up a yellow card. João Pedro. Now, I don't know how that was a yellow card challenge. Is it an accumulation or... I'm not really sure. But it's a yellow card. I think that's Chelsea's first yellow card. Yep, it's a clear foul and it's a clear yellow card. Grabbing a hold of Leslie Ugochukwu. Former Manchester City player Kyle Walker. Former Chelsea player Leslie Ugochukwu. Former Chelsea player Armando Broja. And former Manchester United player Hannibal Mabry, soon to be introduced. Here's Walker. Hartman. Fullback to fullback. Oh, he's lost out the header there, and it's Fleming with his first big opportunity. Benoit Badiashile gets caught under the flight of the ball, and the Dutch centre forward has been waiting for a chance. Had his first real opportunity. Look at this, Badiashile completely going to sleep there. He does not jump with the authority needed. That is pretty poor there from Benoit Badiashile. Fleming on his left foot would have been hoping to hit the target. Huge let off there for Chelsea. And as long as the scoreline remains the same, the door is very much open. Cucurella loses the ball. Chelsea not looking good here. They've committed bodies forward. Fleming gets away from Tosin. It's Leslie Ugochukwu. Oh, magnificent from Andre Santos. Oh, Enzo Fernandez losing the ball. Criminal loss of ball there. Outstanding feat shown by João Pedro. Man of the match for Chelsea has to be Andre Santos. He has covered every blade of grass in that midfield area, and he's made some crucial interceptions. Enzo Fernandez cannot lose the ball there again. 20 minutes plus stoppage time remains. Still 1-0 at Turf Moor. Chelsea hunting that elusive second goal. Here's Malo Gusto. Chelsea's midfield has got two full-backs. Oh, Malo Gusto's pass is so poor. Chelsea cannot afford for this to carry on here. Here's Florentino. Well defended by Andre Santos again. But Burnley win the second ball. Here's Jadon Anthony trying to get away. That's very good defending. That is outstanding from Chalobah and Andre Santos again. I've lost count of the number of interceptions Andre Santos has made here. The Brazilian has really gone up highly in my estimation. Of course, he was Liga Young Player of the Year last season. We all know about that. But for Chelsea, he has not really hit the ground running. It's a triple substitution for Burnley. Leslie Ugochukwu coming off. He's had a good game in midfield. Hannibal Mabry replacing the French midfielder. Jadon Anthony off. And who's the third substitute? We'll wait and see. Well, Armando Broja. Well, this would be some time to score against your former club. Anthony, Fleming and Ugochukwu all coming off for Burnley. Foster, Broja and Hannibal Mabry, the three substitutes for Burnley. Triple substitution here for Scotty Parker as he looks for an equaliser. Well, Chelsea just looking to escape Turf Moor with all 3 points and a clean sheet, but it's been hard work. João Pedro adjudged as offside there after Pedro Neto's header. Might see a double substitution for Chelsea after this one. Not sure, just speculation of Moises Caicedo and maybe Estevan Willian. Ooh, Cucurella commits but misses out. Clever clip pass there into the channel. Tosin has covered a lot of ground but doesn't get there first ahead of Josh Cullen. Back heel is clever. Good defending there by Benoit Badiashile. That's brilliant from him, just showing the strength. Well, he's, of course, competing against a much more diminutive player in Hannibal Mabry, but that's the kind of strength we want to see there from Benoit Badiashile. Ushers that out for a goal kick. But Burnley have had just the one attempt in the second half, and that was for Fleming. Fell to him pretty kindly, but on his left foot. Sanchez once again decides to go long. João Pedro is onside this time, but can't bring that under control. Esteve does well to go back to Dubravka. And some of Chelsea's decision making in the final third has been questionable, to say the very least. João Pedro, Liam Delap have been guilty of that. Another header there from Andre Santos. Excellent. Ooh, heavy touch there straight to João Pedro. Looks for the pass here for Pedro Neto. First touch is good, gets away from Esteve. The centre back does very well. Pedro Neto's really working hard. Need a bit more quality from him. Tosin does well. Here's Neto again. Under a bit of pressure. Tosin brings composure back for Chelsea. Andre Santos. Benoit Badiashile wraps that pass to Marc Cucurella on the left-hand side now. Here's Jamie Gittins. Back to Tosin Adarabioyo. Chelsea looking to be patient here. Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez. João Pedro had made the run, but Enzo ignores him. Instead, he goes to Jamie Gittins instead. Lovely nutmeg there from Gittins, playing with real confidence. João Pedro takes a touch. It's Pedro Neto's. Andre Santos' strike instead. But Andre Santos has been everywhere in terms of interceptions and blocks. It's the first time really that he had an opportunity to have a strike on goal there. Lovely play again from Jamie Gittins. Just creates separation. This is where João Pedro is so dangerous, because he can pick out any pass. Just lays it off for Andre Santos. And another strange decision here. It's not Caicedo or Estevao coming on. It is Marc Guiu. Well, 15 minutes plus stoppage time remain. João Pedro. His afternoon comes to an end with an eye on Barcelona and Arsenal very much dominating Enzo Maresca's mind from this change. Saw Reece James getting subbed at the half-time break. Marc Guiu now on. Still searching for his first Premier League goal for Chelsea. Chawana coming off as well. Decent game in the first half for him. Just faded in the second as Brun Larsen, number 7, takes his place. Gusto wins the header. Lovely touch around the corner. Cucurella's slide is very good because he had to get there first. Long ball forward. How's Marc Guiu's hold up play? Surely a foul there by Esteve. He's got a hold of Marc Guiu, but the referee waves play on. Here's Hartman. Tuanzebe back to Hartman. The Dutch left back. Finds the skipper Cullen. Under pressure. He's lost out there. Malo Gusto brilliantly. Chelsea on the break here. Could add the second. Gusto. Pedro Neto. Malo Gusto. Oh, that was a chance there for Chelsea. Well, Malo Gusto has not scored for Chelsea in 100 games. He scored against Wolves just before the international break and nearly made it 2-2. Lovely 1-2 here. Gusto has to find the top corner. Instead, he went dead central. Is he finding his shooting boots now? That all came from Burnley being too lackadaisical at the back. A little too comfortable on the ball. Another corner for Chelsea. Is this the 7th or 8th corner for Chelsea? It's the 9th rather. 9 corners for Chelsea. None of them have resulted in anything really. It's just the one. Lucky number 9. It isn't really lucky number 9 for Chelsea. The number 9 is an unlucky one as Neto delivers the ball into the box. Decent flight on it. It's cleared away. Here's Brun Larsen. The substitute with fresh legs looking to run. Oh, that's just magnificent from Andre Santos again. Look at the way he reads that outstandingly well. But Andre Santos had to absorb a couple of heavy fouls. This is pretty much his welcome to the Premier League moment here. Has played quite a few games. Enzo Maresca has picked up a yellow card. Well, I want to see who fouled Andre Santos there. Was it? I don't want to say it was Kyle Walker, but Andre Santos is being a couple of heavy fouls on him. But Andre Santos, he's been the man of the match for me. He's kept us in it. He's made such crucial interceptions. Here's Hartman. Mark Guiu now trying to chase down the goalkeeper. Fresh legs for Chelsea up front. Badiashile clears. Looks like Jamie Gittins might get an opportunity to complete 90 minutes here, which means that Alejandro Garnacho will be preferred against Barcelona. Garnacho and Estevao will be a very good wing pairing. I'm not sure whether or not Enzo Maresca will go with it. He does like Pedro Neto a lot for his off-the-ball work. Decent touch there by Mark Guiu. Cleared away. Again, Badiashile showcases his strength. Tosin has to be careful. He's not. He's such a panicked player, isn't he? When he's under pressure, my word, he does look like Bambi on ice. Here's Hartman. Florentino. Axel Tuanzebe. On the right-hand side, the cross comes in. It's fired in, but straight into the palms of Rob Sanchez with a quick release. What a ball that is. Malo Gusto nearly getting there first. Chelsea lose the second ball, though. Again, the midfield is really open here. Enzo somehow gets a touch, but it falls to Burnley. Brun Larsen finds his fellow substitute. Thought about the shot. Hartman's cross, well defended by Andre Santos again. Well, Lyle Foster on the left-hand side thought about putting the ball first time in. Chelsea having to defend the first corner in the 80th minute. It would be typical Chelsea to concede, wouldn't it be, with the first corner that we have given to Burnley. Brun Larsen, number 7, just came on a couple of minutes back. Delivers the ball into the box here, but the referee has spotted something. Chelsea player has gone down here. It's Malo Gusto who's back on his feet. So is Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea have lost a lot of size with Joao Pedro and Liam Delap. Both now gone, but we've got Benoit Badiashile now. 3 big centre backs. Mark Guiu's there as well. He needs to make himself a nuisance in the box. Rob Sanchez, of course, known for his high claims. Hopefully he can thwart this attack as Brun Larsen delivers. Easily cleared away, but the referee has spotted a foul. Is he given a pen? He has! Out of absolutely nothing, Burnley get a penalty here. It's so... How's that a pen? I mean, he's put his body across there, but that is a nothing decision. And how about this? From the first corner Burnley have had, it's a pen. Hannibal Mabry picks up a yellow card too. I really am struggling to understand what's happening here. Surely he's not given a penalty. I mean, what's happening here? This is absolutely crazy. VAR is having a look. Again, I'm not really sure what's happened here. Benoit Badiashile. It's going to be another corner. Oh my word. I thought he gave that as a pen. My heart dropped. My heart absolutely dropped. He gave the yellow card and he looked like he pointed to the spot. I mean, the ball wasn't even delivered. Whew. It's a yellow card for Badiashile. And nothing more. Enzo Maresca might have had his heart in his mouth. So did I. Well, Burnley's first corner, creating all sorts of problems. Hannibal and Benoit Badiashile picking up a yellow card. Chelsea have still not killed this game off here, and that is the huge problem for us. Again, Mark Guiu with the press, but a foul there on Axel Tuanzebe. 7.5 minutes plus. There will be quite a bit of stoppage time added on too. Chelsea need that second goal, but there's no Delap, no Joao Pedro. In the last 5 minutes, Burnley have had 77% of the ball. Punted forward. Tosin finds Enzo Fernandez. Immediately looks up to find Joao Pedro Neto. It's a very poor pass. I mean, Enzo Fernandez has one of those games where you just want to erase from your memory. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Another substitution for Burnley. They are throwing the kitchen sink. Florentino comes off. And number 29, Lauren, comes on. Chelsea looking to run down the clock here. There's still a lot of football to be played. Chelsea cannot rest on this 1-goal advantage. We need the second, and we need it quickly here. All it takes is a bit of lapse of concentration. Jamie Gittins gets there first, but he's played the pass forward. Instead it's to Burnley. Brun Larsen, very good there from Enzo Fernandez. That is exactly what we needed from him. Here's Badiashile. Took a risky touch, but his second touch was assured. Rob Sanchez just shooting this as far as possible. Pedro Neto with a wonderful header. Can he get the second touch too? Esteve is strong and taller. Malo Gusto looking to apply the pressure. 6 minutes plus stoppage time. It is a nervy end to the match here at Turf Moor. It's all about the 3 points for Chelsea. And if we win this game, as it stands, it will be 3 wins in a row, 9 points, 3 clean sheets in a row too in the league. Tottenham, Wolves, and now potentially Burnley, but the match is still not done. Andre Santos finds Trevor Chalobah. Channel pass, oh brilliant take there from Hartman. He had no right to bring that down so expertly. Onto the right hand side, here's Brun Larsen up against Cucurella, looking to play a 1-2 here. Cross has been delayed. Here's Lauren, the substitute, towards the far stick. Chalobah is there, well defended, magnificent header. Well, that surely had to be a Chelsea counter-attack, but a clash of heads is really painful, and the right decision has been made by the referee. Head injuries have to be stopped. Trevor Chalobah in a lot of pain, but he really did so well to win that header and nearly set up a Chelsea counter-attack because Pedro Neto was ready to run. Well, what a goal this was for Chelsea. I mean, that ball from Jamie Gittins is put on a plate there for Pedro Neto. Could have gone with his right boot, but does the right thing and goes with his header instead. That goal really did take off the pressure for Chelsea because up until then it was such hard work for Chelsea. And fair play to Burnley and Scott Parker. They really have given Chelsea a game here. Well, Trevor Chalobah still not back onto his feet here. They'll have to check for concussions and all the protocols that come up with it. Have to be sure that he is okay. And Estevao is getting a bit of warming up minutes by the looks of it. We're in the 87th minute. Good to see Foster and Chalobah both back onto their feet. That is brilliant news really for neither of them suffering any sort of serious injury, especially with a clash of heads. Things can get very ugly. But Foster and Chalobah are good to go. Estevao coming on. Strange substitution here from Enzo Maresca, but he wants that second goal very quickly. He's waited a very long time. I think he will be replacing Pedro Neto on the right hand side, or he takes the number 10 position here. Well, 3 minutes plus stoppage time. Again, that clash of heads will have added time on. Cucurella's pass has been easily intercepted. Cucurella, again under a bit of panic, just decides to clear that away. Time ticking very slowly here for Chelsea. That's brilliant there from Tosin. Reads that nicely. Again, he's out of position though. Burnley on the right-hand side. Can't cross this one, but nobody's in the box. Malo Gusto has to be careful. Oh my goodness me, Rob Sanchez. Talk about composure in the box. That is a little too much composure for my liking. Pedro Neto does very well. Plays the reverse pass to Mark Guiu. Should be running to the corner. Instead, he shows his strength. Mark Guiu's through on goal. Lays it off to make it 2-0. Enzo Fernandez. It's game over. Enzo Fernandez adds the seal to the points. And that all came from the hectic play by Rob Sanchez at the back. He took a chance and it pays dividends for Chelsea. Whew. That is far too much risk. But the reward is absolutely sweet. Mark Guiu does the right thing here. He's bearing down on goal. And he decides for the cutback. Where Enzo Fernandez, the second half skipper, was waiting to smash that home. Look at this from Rob Sanchez. The composure was elite. And from there, Chelsea in business. Pedro Neto does so well to keep the ball. Mark Guiu is very much onside. He does well to show his strength and just run away from Axel Tuanzebe. Look at that. Good strength. Could have shot. Decided to do the right thing and laid off to Enzo Fernandez, who scored his 4th Premier League goal too. So Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez, all with 4 Premier League goals. Chelsea, as it stands, in 2nd position. Whew. Finally. We've had to wait a long time. Had to wait a very long time. Well, Neto in the 37th minute and Enzo Fernandez late on. Let's look at the celebration there from Enzo Maresca. He knows that the points have finally been wrapped up. Mark Guiu doing very well, getting his first assist in the Premier League. Oh, that was hard work and fair play to Burnley, man. They really did make us work tremendously hard for it. Cucurella's header. Axel Tuanzebe. Here's Cullen. Switches the play out. Good header again there by Marc Cucurella. We're into stoppage time now. Waiting for how much added on time will be added on by the 4th official. Is that 6? Can't really see from the glare there, but just confirm that shortly. It is 6. 6 minutes of stoppage time for Chelsea to preserve their clean sheet and go temporarily 2nd in the league. Newcastle United host Manchester City rather. So Chelsea have every opportunity to end this match week in 2nd position. Decent header. Badiashile showing great composure. Tosin with a chop clearance to manage, and Pedro Neto brings that down nicely there. Enzo Fernandez just boots that away. Nearly looking to find Enzo Maresca rather than his teammate. Can Chelsea add one more goal just before stoppage time here? Really add the seal on the points. And a lofted ball forward. That is great composure there from Benoit Badiashile. Cushion header back to Rob Sanchez. Rob Sanchez, well, talk about taking a risk and the risk paying off. That was a prime example. Pedro Neto has worked tirelessly hard. Have you seen Estevao take the pitch, or is he sat back down? I think he has. They haven't made the substitution. Estevao was looking to be brought on to try and add a bit more creative spark and attacking intent for us, but having scored the 2nd goal, Estevao can sit himself back on the bench there. Oh, surely a foul there by Trevor Chalobah. It's a needless one too on Armando Broja. The 2 Cobham graduates tangling on that occasion. Well, Trevor Chalobah was brought down, but Armando Broja is still on the deck here. How bad is the challenge here? It's not bad here. It's not bad here as well. Ooh, it's an awkward landing. That's the one for Armando Broja, but I don't think he's really, hit his studs below the shin. Yep, Broja's okay. Brun Larsen will take this free kick. Chelsea still looking to preserve their clean sheet, and hopefully Burnley don't have a late bit of drama attached to this match here. Chelsea have defended set pieces well. They need to do it one more time. Brun Larsen delivers. Good ball into the box. Headed away by Tosin. Commanding header from the centre half. Well, halfway through stoppage time has been played. Chelsea nearly home and dry, with a big week coming up with Barcelona and Arsenal up next. This could have been a fixture that Chelsea could have very easily dropped points with their eyes on bigger and better things, with all due respect to Burnley, but Chelsea handled the business after a rough 25 minutes to begin with. The second half, the control was there. That Pedro Neto goal really did help us so much. Put a back heel play, just slip that ball to Brun Larsen. Foster nearly squeezes that through. Sanchez claims. Well, 3 clean sheets in a row for a team which is supposedly struggling defensively is a marked improvement. I say supposedly, we were struggling defensively. Armando Broja might pick up a yellow card for impeding Rob Sanchez. 2 minutes of stoppage time remain. Chelsea, the 2-0 lead. Pedro Neto in the 37th minute and Enzo Fernandez late on. After not having the best of games, adding the second and the comfort goal. They're nearly there. Nearly there. As it stands, Chelsea 3 points behind Arsenal. This is the first time that I'm going to be supporting Tottenham Hotspur like a Chelsea fan. A draw would be nice, but Arsenal at home is a tough proposition for any team, really. But if someone can do the job, it could be Thomas Frank for Spurs. Pedro Neto has worked tirelessly in this match on that right-hand side channel. Here's Tosin. Finds Benoit Badiashile. Again, this is what balance does to you. If you put a left-footed player on the left-hand side, you automatically improve. And that's why I was begging for Cucurella to be as that left-sided centre-back. But instead, he persisted with Trevor Chalobah on the left-hand side, but immediately changed that in the second half. 1, to protect Reece James, and 2, to bring balance to the team. The final minute of stoppage time. Chelsea nearly getting the job done here. Here's Brun Larsen. Onto the right-hand side is Kyle Walker. Lovely first touch here. An opportunity for a strike. Good turn. Off balance. Straight into the hands of Rob Sanchez. It was Armando Broja who was threatening to shoot. Well defended there by Cucurella. Pass to Enzo Fernandez. Lovely turn away from trouble there from Enzo. Oh, the pass back by Gittins is not accurate, but job's done, so Chelsea can possibly take their foot off the pedal, but Mark Guew is not doing that. Brilliant from him. Here's Gittins. Chelsea looking for third before the end of stoppage time. He's been bullied off the ball. 96 minutes has been played. The referee has had a look at his watch. And I think that will be that. 3 points and a clean sheet for Chelsea at Turf Moor. 3 wins on the bounce in the Premier League. 3 clean sheets in a row as Chelsea go temporarily second in the league. 3 points behind Arsenal. Pedro Neto scoring in the 37th minute and Enzo Fernandez with the typical box crashing run in the 88th minute, adding the seal to the points. Burnley find themselves in 17th position. There was an opportunity to push up the league, but that wouldn't be the case. Chelsea with all 3 points and a clean sheet. Pretty much the perfect afternoon. After a rough 20 minutes to begin with, I thought we were outstanding in the second half. So much better to completely nullify Burnley's threat and have a threat of our own. Full time here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Chelsea 2. Well, brilliant from Chelsea, man. 12 games played, plus 12 goal difference, 23 points. 3 points and 3 goals behind Arsenal. As Burnley in 17th position will have to go through the relegation dogfight. They're level on points with West Ham, West Ham, of course, have a game in hand. So do Nottingham Forest and Wolves. Wolves are rock bottom with Rob Edwards taking the place of Vito Pereira. But it's job done for Chelsea. Enzo Maresca will be a happy man. But for me, this is a game where you do not give the man of the match to the goal scorers. You might give it to Pedro Neto, might give it to Enzo Fernandez. But for me, the man of the match, one man only, Andre Santos. Well done, son. Brilliant performance from him. I mean, the way that he covered every blade of glass in the midfield, the number of interceptions he made was outstanding. It was a real presence. And because of his performance, Moises Caicedo gets rest. And that is huge. Absolutely brilliant. Full time here at